I've heard of a lot of people talk about these little chunks of metal lately, and what exactly are they? When you first look at it, you're not really too sure what they are. They kind of look like little decapitated BRS stoves, but what they actually are is a fuel transfer valve for your backpacking canisters. I've been seeing people use these to transfer their fuels from when they have two half-empty canisters into one, and they're pretty nifty little things. When I first discovered it, there was a brand called Fuel Flip that made one, and they were charging roughly $50 Canadian for it. By the time I bring it to my country, with all our shipping duties and all the other goodness, it was gonna be way too expensive. But recently I found this one on Amazon, which I believe is actually the original one from Campingmoon. Don't quote me with this, and from what it appears online, that they actually were the original and came before the Fuel Flip that was released in September 21. They're a lot cheaper, they're 25 bucks. Now, why would you want to use one of these things? Well, saving money and saving weight while on trail. If you're on a long distance through hike, one of these things actually might be great, because if you're heading along through different hiker towns and there's different hiker boxes with half empty fuel canisters there, you only need to grab one of those and toss this thing on top of it, and you can siphon the fuel out of there that someone's just going to leave behind. Now, the reason why you want to do it, if you purchase the larger fuel canisters, you can use one of those to refill your camping fuel and just keep it topped up as you go along. I recently picked up the largest one from MSR, and I typically only bring the smaller ones like most people do. The reason why most people use the smaller camping fuel stoves is because they fit inside your cook pot quite easily for your ultralight setups. And then you can use the bigger one, like I said, and then the bigger one that I have, you can use to top up your smaller fuel canisters. And by looking at the math on the screen, you can see it's actually cheaper. And it's less waste all around having to purchase multiple of the small canisters. I know, like myself, quite a few other people, you go on one backpacking trip, you purchase one, you go on another one, you purchase one, and you have multiple half-empty canisters just accumulating everywhere. So the nice thing about this is you don't have to pack all of them on the trail, and you only have to bring one with you at a time. Okay, let's go over how to use these. Now, I gotta get this out of the way. If you blow yourself up while using this, I'm not responsible. I don't get paid for these videos. I get a little bit of a kickback from those Amazon affiliate links that goes a few bucks towards an Amazon gift card, but yeah, I don't get paid for these, so it's on you if you blow yourself up. Okay, let's get into how to use these things. Okay, first things first, you want to identify your empties that I have here, and then identify the one that you want to refill. Now that the obvious is out of the way, you're going to want to weigh everything. So this empty one here is roughly half full. You can see by the weights on the screen how much it weighs. You can see how much it weighs by checking the labels on the side of the canister. I'm not going to tell you how much to do each one because each canister is a little bit different, so you want to do what the recommendation is on the side of it. There's a few different ways how you actually can weigh these things. If you check on the side of the MSR cans, there's a graphic illustration that shows how you can lower it into the water and check by how much it floats in there, by how much is inside the canister, and then you can judge by where it floats along the illustration of how full it is. The most accurate way you can do it is have a scale, but if you're on trail, that's not going to work, and if you only have your tiny cook pot, you're not going to have a way to fill it up. So I saw this awesome video that I'm going to link down below of how you can use your trekking pole actually as a scale to gauge how heavy your cans are. It's just a cool little trick. It's also useful if you're not even trying to fill up your canisters. Just from when you're in a trail, you can actually tell how much is inside your canister. I'll show you guys how to do that. So luckily I have 3 different canisters here, all at different fuel levels. I have a full one, a medium one, and an empty one. So that's perfect for me. What you can do is figure out what your two different variable weights are and write those down so you know how much a full canister is and how much an empty canister is. If you have a little water container, you can use that too to adjust it for the weights. You're going to need a scale at home to set this up though, but with me having these 3 ones, I can set it up and gauge it with my trekking pole trick. So you're going to take your fuel canister and your trekking pole strap and slide it in. If you have the new Durston Iceline trekking poles, this will not work because you do not have a strap. Extend your trekking pole to a height that you'll be able to remember for a consistent variable. I'm going to set mine at 130 centimeters. Then you're going to find where you can balance the trekking pole. It'll take a minute sometimes to find where your balance point is. So this is where I place my finger when it's an empty canister on my trekking pole. You can find some sort of way to mark your trekking pole so you know where your empty line is. Put a marking right here. This is at my empty variable. And here we are with the full canister, and I can see where it's sitting here. For me, it's not going to work super well on my trekking pole because I have a foam grip and it comes up to here. I have a big chunky handle for river crossings, so that makes it a little bit more lopsided towards the handle. And so there I have a little variable where my full canister should be at when I balance it. And then for a half empty canister, I can see that it's roughly right where the end of the handle ends for me on my trekking pole. This is just for a rough guide for you if you're on trail, if you're on a long distance through hike and you're trying to figure out how much fuel is inside your canister. So another thing for best results while you're doing this, you're gonna wanna heat up your output can and chill your input can. That causes the gases to expand in an appropriate way to allow them to transfer the one canister to the other. There's a few different ways that you can do this. To heat up your output can, you can either put some warm water on the top of it, roughly 60 degrees Celsius, or you can just leave it out in the sun and put it on something black like I have. If you don't have anywhere that's in direct sun, you can just put the output canister next to your body to add some body heat to it to warm it up. And then for your receiver can, just put it in the fridge for somewhere to cool it down for half an hour. Or another trick too, if you're on the trail, you can put it in a stream or somewhere cold. Once you've done that, you can screw the canisters onto the transfer and then make sure that everything's set up properly and then follow the arrows patterns on the side of it. I have the Campingmoon one so you can see the direction of the arrows and which way they go. We'll see if it focuses. And then you just let the magic happen. Release the valve and you'll start to hear a hissing noise with the fuel transfer between the two. There's a lot of factors in how long this is going to take too. How well you're able to heat up your canisters or cool them down. While you're filling up, you're probably going to continuously check to see how much weight is in one of your canisters so you don't overfill it. Just a good thing to be mindful of. It can take a little while to transfer the fuel though. It's not like an instant thing. Depending on your temperatures and your conditions of your canisters and how much fuel is in each one, it can take roughly 10 minutes to complete. Now, if you think you've overfilled your canister, I wouldn't worry too much about it. You can always just screw in your stove into it and just open the valve and just let extra gas out. Your flame would be quite strange if you do overfill it too, for what I understand online. Maybe in a future video, I'll overfill one to see what exactly happens and we'll have a little fun with that. Make sure to subscribe, just check that out. I love little backpacking gadgets like this, so if you enjoy them too, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy backpacking gadgets. If you enjoyed this video, there's a video over here that YouTube recommends for you. Why don't you go watch that? It's another one for my channel. See you over there.